Okay, guys. I know that I've promised to share the YouTube link with you guys where I had made like a 25-minute video, uh, sharing my this week's setups. But then, due to technicalities, I couldn't upload the video because of uh, yeah, there were network issues and whatnot here. But then, hopefully, I get that fixed, in the next couple of days. But in the meantime, let me just share, you know, just individual setups directly here on Telegram. So whoever gets access to them, or whomever needs access, can just come here on Telegram and access most of these weekly setups. I'm not gonna leave a Google Drive link because I had thought of that, but then I'm still in it. I'm still needing to make sure that I buff up security in as far as protecting other documents in that application. So we are going to be looking at GBP for now, and then hopefully I'll be able to send more videos, and I'm going to try to keep them short and quick as possible because of this is social media. We don't want to spend many hours looking at or many most of your time looking at uh, maybe a 20 minutes long video, whereas we could have just watched it on YouTube or something. So this is GBPJPY, this is GJ. This is just one of our favorite pairs, and many traders' favorite pair. So let's quickly look at the previous price action before we can currently look at what we expect for the current trading week. uh let's start far on our left hand side. I'm going to be focusing on this area right over here where we've made a high, and also I can also take note of this previous high. So we have let me just say three conservative highs. So we had higher highs, price has been making higher highs, and we had that. Then after that, if you could look at on our left hand side, this black line here, this was just a level of structure on our left hand side that gave us confidence that this area should be a reversal zone of some sort. Okay, now with that, we saw price drop. It dipped into this area of support. We had this SMS structure of some sort where we came into this area and we found support. Right after that, we saw price really to the upper part. Then this area of structure was kind of violated, and we saw price pierce to the upside, and then it came back inside. So which leads us to our next area of interest, which would be this zone right over here. This area right over here now becomes our interesting area of structure because it tells us uh, a lot of information. It gives us a lot of insight as to what to expect next in the market. As we could see, guys, this was just for those who know what this might really delineate, then you know exactly what this area is. This is our liquidity purging zone. So this here really gives us a signal that the market really now is ready to dip further to the downside, but as to how far will it go, we are not sure as of yet. However, after finding that liquidity purge right at the upper part, sorry about that, after finding this liquidity purge at the upper part here, buyers were being taken out, and sellers who sold early and had their stops near this zone were also being taken out. Then price came back into this area. of support. Now if you can just get into this area of support also, let's note something else. We wanna pay our attention and look at this area where we found support, and we never traded beneath this area ever since. However, price has been coming into this zone a number of times. It came once, twice, would also count that two, and basically just say 3 times into this area of support. And however, we've been failing to come beneath this area of support. However, also we need to look at when price rallied to the upside again. Now we came back to the upside and we had a clear area of support, which was that liquidity zone that was being taken out. We had, since we made this high at the top, we've been failing to pierce above those highs. So however, price came in a little bit, it dipped in, and then it went back to those same highs, and then it came back in. So guys, for now, what does this lead us to? So it leads us to a number of things, guys. It leads us to be able to recognize this area of structure and its significance, and to also acknowledge a number of times that we've came into this area but we never pierced to the upside. The same thing can be said for the downside. We had this area of support, but then we never came beneath this area of support ever since. So we've been playing between two areas. So guys, what do we know about these types of structures where we fail to break either side of structure, but then we play within one zone? So this by default makes this area an area of interest, which makes it a consolidation. It's a consolidation because we haven't broken either side, the upside or the downside. So this becomes our supply zone and this becomes our demand zone. So we have these two zones and price has been playing inside these two zones. Now what do we know about these trading in the zone is that we always want to buy low, meaning we always want to purchase at areas of support, and we always want to sell high, meaning we always want to go short at areas of resistance. Then only if then we break either side of structure. If we break to the upside from this area, for some reason we break to the upside, we might expect a continuation to the upside. If we break to the downside, we might expect the opposite to happen, which would be a break to the downside. Now coming in, let's zoom in a little bit into the current price action. Look at the current leg. Oh, excuse me, need to change that. Let's look into the current leg. Let's zoom in into this area here. At this area we had these highs and these highs. Now what does this area delineate? It delineates two equal highs, right? Delineates two equal highs. What do we have? We have this area here of structure, the bottom area of the two equal highs, which makes it an M formation for those of you who are just beginning. But then for other people, we know what this is. This is a break of market structure. The structure has been broken to the downside, and then what do we have in as far as price action structure goes? We currently have a shift in market structure. We have a shift in market structure because of we have a series of lower highs going on here, followed by another last lower high that we had right over here around the 22nd of or around the 4th of March, excuse me. around the 4th of March. So we had this area right over here. So now we have key that we need to take into account, which is this area here, and a break of market structure, and a respect of these highs, and also another liquidity purge right at those tops. However, I want us to focus on the shift of market structure at this area right over here. Actually, let me just include this low here also, this high here with this higher low right over here. So excuse me with this, guys. This was just from last week, the OTE plus breaker of FZ. I'll get into that for now, but then that was not for the current week that we are on. That was from previous week. We were looking to enter at these highs, and then which we did, and we secured the move to the downside, and which was a beautiful trade. It was a beautiful trade. We secured a beautiful amount of pips right over there, and hopefully we're gonna get to do that for the week too. So let's focus on the areas of structure that I've been counting for some time. So now we had that. Also now we're gonna note the trend. Now the trend also gets broken, these lows followed by these lows, these higher lows. Now we had a break. We had two breaks basically here. So we had this break of the trend line, and we also had this break of structure, and currently we are trading beneath this area of structure. So what do we expect from here? What we expect from here is that we hope, not to actually expect, but then we hope that price might continue to the downside. We might see a stronger yen, as we expect fundamentally that we will be seeing a weaker pound, as the European market is also struggling and suffering at the moment due to what's happening there in Europe currently. I'm not a fundamental head. I wouldn't justify exactly what Ukraine and Russia's war really, how significantly it would be affecting the pound. But then, however, with the basics of fundamentals that I have, I understand that between Europe and the whole of Europe, the European continent, basically, it's just on a risk on environment. It's just a risk on environment. So investors are taking their funds away from the European continent. We're selling the euros and pounds, because of we never know what might happen up until they say that the war is really over. So now, for now, if I can zoom in a little bit further, I'm also going to note this area here, as I've noted with the dotted line. I would also like for you to pay attention to it, and the red line here, and the two red lines in actual fact, which is this high where we entered the previous week, and which inevitably became previous week's highs, or PWH, and this is PWL, which is previous week's lows, and we know how to trade those areas, isn't it? We've spoken about this, especially for those who are in the mentorship. They know the importance of PW and PWH. So PWL and PWH in actual fact. If I can just zoom in a little bit further more. Now I'm going to count again areas of structure in as far as this leg is concerned. I'm going to make sure that you are taken through the whole process, where, and as far as how this whole leg really came about being. So we had this here, this rally came into these highs, minor, small, what you call, minor highs, and we had a drop. We had a rally or a pullback of some sort. Then we came back in, which was a Fibonacci level. We dropped to the downside. We had a breaking of structure. We saw price rally. What did we expect really? To see price come back into this area right over here, because of we were aware of a downtrend after breaking this area of support, which is a diagonal support, which is, in other words, the trend line here. after breaking this trend line, we expected price not to come back anywhere to those highs. If you pay attention, and if you're a beginner, surely you're confused and you'd be expecting, price to come back to this area and retest. It's not always the case. Remember, guys, there are variations of breakouts in as far as structures are concerned. We don't break structure the same pattern every single time. There are different ways in which we break structures. And however, if you were at a lower time frame, possibly maybe at the 30-minute time frame, or an 1 hour time frame, or even a 15-minute time frame, you would see that this was really a breakout and a retest. But then, however, for a higher time frame, it's clearly not that visible. It only takes a trained eye to be able to see this was a smaller than a retest, but then it's also subject to time frame, right? So hence price didn't go back to those highs. So now we had these highs happening here. So we had a drop, we had a rally which became a base, created this base right over here. If you can just focus at these highs and these lows, we came back in, we break structure, we came back to those highs, we had a drop. Within that drop we had a base, then we had our last drop, and we're currently consolidating at the bottom of structure. And then because of there's a consolidation, and today it's Wednesday, so we are, it's midweek, so we are looking for it would be really great to have a midweek reversal structural opportunity going on right over there. It's either for price to come back into this area of structure and shoot to the downside, or to come back to this nearest area of structure and have price shoot to the downside right over there. And the reason why I'm choosing this bias now, because now surely it raises a question of bias as to why am I looking only for bearish opportunities in this market. I'm looking for bearish opportunities, reason being, it's going to be the same reason that I tried to taunt at the beginning of this video, that if you can just have a recap of structure, if we can just recap on structure, you would recognize that we had these highs going on, and we understood that we are still inside a consolidation, and we had 3 highs being tested there, 1, 2, 3 into the zone. And then I expect price to come back into this zone, and then thereafter, that's when I can expect price to shoot to the upside, or if not, expect price to shoot to the downside. But then also, as an aid to that, let me just add in a little bit of something. Let me just, I think it needs me to go to a daily time frame. Oh, excuse me, I keep forgetting to disarm that. If I can just go to to a daily time frame. What am I doing? If I can just go to a daily time frame, I need to bring you guys to your attention to some bigger structure that I'm looking at. So guys, what influences my bias long term, it's because of I'm looking at a number of things, at the fact that we've been breaking structure so many times. So we broke this structure, this diagonal structure, the trend line, we broke that aggressively. There's so much momentum to the downside because of I'm also a momentum trader, so I ate off of momentum also. So we came back and looked at this area of structure, this trend line, we also broke it, and we are currently trading beneath it up until we come back inside and have a false break of structure in as far as trend lines are concerned. And as you could remember that, guys, trend lines are also subjective. Trend lines are also not, you use them at your own discretion and your own knowledge and understanding. So that's what I would be looking at currently. So I'm looking for price for now, short term, to come back into the zone and then see what really happens in there. But I'd be glad if I can just have an entry inside the zone here during this week. Now for the month, What would it mean for me if we see price come back to the downside? I would be happy to see that we are consolidating inside this area and finally see a break, a retest, a push to the downside would really mean justice to me, and I would be looking to take profit somewhere right around is either this area right over here or this area right over here. So simple as it is. I'd like to keep it simple as always, guys. So that's my structural outlook in as far as GJ is concerned. So if you have any question or you have any views that you'd like to share with me or share with the group, please feel free to do that. As you know, this is a democratic environment, so we try to keep it, as fair as possible for everyone. And also, I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible. I would look at Euro JPY also. I would look at the GBP index just for me to to walk you guys through exactly my justifications as to in as far as sentimental trading is concerned. But with that said, guys, good luck and good trading, and hopefully that you are able to participate as soon as I get an entry also in this currency pair for the week, and hopefully we can be able to hold and swing for the month. So good luck, good trading. Also, if you are finding this on YouTube, please like, also subscribe, leave a comment also if you wanna also engage with the community. I'm also gonna leave a link to our community at the bottom of this description of this video, in fact. And also hit the notification bell button, guys, if you want to see, if you don't want to miss any of this weekly um setups that I'll be sharing with you guys here on YouTube and here on Telegram. So with that said, guys, yeah, good luck and good trading one more time.